Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode. Today was kind of a rough day and I'll let Amanda explain why. And I think some of what she's going to share with you today is part of our larger vision of what maybe helping ends up looking like with sharing our experiences with you all. And I'll let her kind of dive into it and then we'll go from there.
Sure. So I would say more of like what's been happening for the past week and a half has been frustrating and just downright crappy. I feel like as a patient I've been unheard and unseen, and there's been points like even today I just feel like my I'm doing something that my life is very dependent on other people and getting the ball rolling, and I just lately have been feeling just like just another person in like the wheel of healthcare. And I will say that I have for a long time, anyone that knows me knows I've been like a chronic people pleaser, and I rarely talk about my feelings or any needs that I want. And this past week I have had to advocate so hard for myself, so much to the point of I'm supposed to start chemo and radiation literally tomorrow, and I don't know if that's going to happen. And it is not my own doing. So it's been just downright frustrating.
To give some context, when we were getting discharged from UCSF, we had been advised by the oncologist there that they wanted to start this next phase of treatment for what is standard of care treatment for what Amanda has within 4 to 6 weeks post surgery. And the reason is because it gives the wound enough time to heal, but it's also early enough in the window where the idea is that it prevents any sort of cancerous cells from growing back, because this particular type of cancer can be so aggressive. Amanda was obviously 2 weeks post-surgery in rehab hospital, so because of that, the insurance would not let her schedule her next appointments till after she was discharged from there, which we're literally driving home from the rehab hospital, making phone calls to try to get these appointments. Once she gets in, then it's getting insurance to approve follow-up imaging, which is a delay on that. And then it's a breakdown in communication just because of the system as a whole. And we fully appreciate and recognize how impossibly strained and challenged the healthcare system is right now, because the fact of the matter is that there are more patients and more people who are probably sick and needing care than there are care providers, and timing and people power to even do that. That being said, when she's getting the runaround, and for the last 2.5 weeks we've been trying to get her started so she can be within the window, and tomorrow, or well today, because we'll be showing this video on Tuesday, so today is literally her 6-week window post-surgery. It is coming down to the wire of the time frame they gave us, and she spent all of today running around trying to collect imaging that she never knew she even needed to get, which we could have been informed of a long time ago. So the thing is it could have been so much more streamlined. And as you said earlier, what was so sad about this whole thing is there was so much energy and emotion that she had to expend that could have been saved or salvaged or avoided if there would just been that consideration of, this is somebody who's in her timeline, and not to say that other people's timeline, because what we can imagine is if we've gone through this, a lot of other people have too. Yeah. And so there's people who are, their lives are dependent on this. Yeah. They're not just another appointment. They're not just another cog in the wheel. And that we can appreciate all the constraints and the challenges the healthcare system has, the how hard it is for hiring, how hard it is to do scheduling, how much emotion people are dealing with every day. Yeah. And this isn't to point fingers at anybody, but it's just to really acknowledge like how hard this has been for you, and how unnecessary it was for it to be hard. Yeah. And also considering that there's probably other people out there who are going through it who maybe they don't have a group of people around them like we do, where we can talk through it, or we're willing to dive into research and ask different questions and whatnot. Yeah. And we're just hoping that again, in this whole hope of help, this leads to something more positive down the road.
I will just say, if you have any type of imaging, immediately get a copy of your imaging I don't care if it's your elbow or what, I don't care, your thumb. Get an image, because I hope you never have to deal with this kind of stuff. But if you do, you're gonna need all that imaging, even though half of them, like half of the healthcare providers, say that it's not necessarily, or not necessary. It is so vital to take care of your schedule and your appointments, and like what provider you talk to and what they said, and the time frame that you are given to hear a response back from that person. I'm not saying don't trust them, because I am not trusting the healthcare system, but people are so busy. Call back again. I have definitely become, I know one place in particular, I've become that person. And you know what? I am happy to be that person, because tomorrow isn't going to happen if it wasn't me being that person, which is shocking that I am that person right now.
You know, one of the things that we're going to do is we're going to compile through this list all the lists of questions that we wish we would have asked.
Yes.
Questions that we've asked that we thought were beneficial at different stages of this, and we'll be able to share it. So then, again, anybody who finds themselves in a situation like this, or family members, we can share that resource with you, and it'll be something that you'll be able to access, and you can learn from our experience where we've done really well, or where we definitely dropped the ball because we didn't know what we should have asked.
I would also say what's also been kind of helpful is like certain type of Facebook groups, or I would say Facebook more than Instagram groups, of people who have your particular condition, and people who are really advocating for themselves. It's really fascinating to come up to a group of people that aren't just gonna take a number as it is, and they're gonna do anything that they can in their power. That's something that I feel like we should highlight multiple times, is there are places for free that are literally walking side by side with very similar situations, who are just huge wealth of knowledge. I mean, my chemo and radiation essentially is hopefully going to be altered because of a Facebook group that I think makes the most sense.
Yeah, and we'll get into all that a little bit down the road too, with the resources and everything, because I know you want to stay under 10 minutes with these videos.
Very upset.
I know, and I Amanda too, like, honest to God, I've told her this today, so I'm going to tell you all this too. As somebody who's known Amanda for a very long time, one of the things that I've always wished for her was that she would speak up. She has been a chronic people pleaser. She will bottle stuff up, hold stuff in. She is that person who depresses emotion versus expresses it, and in so doing, I think it's really caused her a lot of unnecessary emotional strife or challenges throughout life. And I'm so incredibly proud of you today, because at one point she got off the phone, she hung it up, put her phone down, and she said, "I am so frustrated. My life matters. I matter as a person. I matter as a human being." And it was such a powerful thing to hear you say.
Yeah.
And I really do believe that you evolving into this version of yourself, this, shedding that kind of layer of skin and becoming this advocate, becoming this champion for yourself, is going to be vital for your healing.
Right.
So I'm super, super proud of you for that. I hate that it took this happening to tap into that for you.
Yes.
But I think this is you don't need to fidget with that right now. You got to be here on camera. This is one of the fun things with recovering from brain surgery. Sometimes her focus goes, and so you know how we all have squirrel and we take off. Well, all of a sudden I'll be talking to her, and she's down fidgeting with her sock, because that just became really interesting right then. But no, I'm so incredibly proud of you.
Thank you.
Anything else?
What's the word? I didn't go to jail today, and that in and itself is like a really, really amazing thing.
Good. I'm proud of you. I would have come bailed you out if you did. All right, everybody. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.